one passion and one skill written down? Anyone have a hard time with this? Anyone not get written down? Okay. Everyone got good. Now, so there's a couple reasons that I started doing it this way. Number one, because what would be ideal, in an ideal world, the skill sets that you have are also aligned with the passion that you have, right? But the biggest reason that I wrote this down is because if you think about this, all of the skills that you guys wrote down, from what I heard so far, will be helpful to any passion you have. And there's something even more important. The skills that you wrote down, the fact that you guys can write down skills that fast, shows me that you're in the right mentality to actually start working on your passion. Right? Because if you think that you aren't skilled at anything, then it's going to be really hard for you to believe you can actually start something and make money doing it. Right? So the first thing I want to say to you is, if you have a single skill, and every single one of you wrote down something, then what we're going to do up here is completely possible for all of you. But, like I was talking to somebody before this thing, he said to me, dude, I'm surrounded by negativity. My aunt, my mom, my cousin, we all live together, and it's just constant negativity. The school that I go to, constant negativity. And I said to him, it's your decision to not listen to any of it. Right? And let me tell you guys something. It's about when you start to create something that you love and you want to make money doing it, it's hard as shit. It's already hard. Even I have amazing people around me, and it's already hard. So when you start to put bad people in your ear, whispering in your ear, you're not shit, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, and you start to believe it for 1 second, you're in trouble. So the reason that I want to write down skills is that every single night, you guys should be thinking about, I'm good at this. I'm good at this, and this, and this, and this, and no matter what anybody else tells me, I am. Because you're in your own head. And that's the number one most important thing that I've learned over the last 6 years as an entrepreneur, is the second that I don't listen to anybody else, or maybe I'll listen, but they don't affect my mood, is the second you can really win. So now, the passion part is the most exciting part, right? So, a couple different things that I want to say to you. I want this talk to be really practical. At the same time, I want this talk to really blow your mind. So I want to play in two different directions. The first is, I want you to literally walk out of here in an hour and say, I know what I should start to do to move the ball forward on making money doing what I love. And at the same time, I want you to think, there's no such thing as thinking too big. There's no such thing as an idea that I can't make happen. If your idea is to start 100,000 animal shelters around the world, and someone says to you, like, you can't do that, you're from the South Bronx. Be like, watch it. I don't want you to ever think that whatever your dream is, like, you ran a $500,000 foundation, nonprofit. Like, that's, you know how many people came to raise $50,000? You know, that's really, you've already done so much. So my point with you guys is this. You gotta be your own best friend, and you gotta be your own biggest believer. Like, to the point where it's obnoxious. Where people are like, dude, like, you are so obnoxious about how much you believe in yourself. Because otherwise this is not going to work. Okay? So, I want us to think outside the box, but I want us to stay really grounded in like what we actually have to do next. Now, let's jump into the passions. I actually want to stick with your two examples, and then I want to do it with them because I think it's the best way to universally apply it to all of you. All right? So, give me your passions again.
It was human rights.
Human rights.
This is kind of like the same thing. Civil liberties.
Civil liberties.
Eating healthy. And then human evolution.
Eating healthy. Sorry about my narrating. I read it when I was 6-year-old. Eating healthy and what else?
Human evolution.
Was there a fifth one though? I thought you had 5.
I did.
What was the fifth one?
It was human evolution. Greenhouse gas.
Yeah, that was it. Greenhouse gas. me, so guys, I'm just gonna write passions again underneath here. Actually, I can do it. Sorry. Tell me yours. Music. Travel. Poetry. Was that it? Okay. Can you give me one more? That has to do with caregiving. Like, what's your desire for caregiving? Do you want to be a caregiver? What is the caregiving part? What is passionate about you for the caregiver? Helping others in need. Okay, so let's helping others. Okay, so watch this. So here we have two different groups of things, right? Two different groups of passions, right? And to the outside world, these passions really have nothing to do with each other. So you're looking at this and you're like, oh, music, yeah, who doesn't love music? Right? Oh, travel. Oh, who doesn't love travel? Right? Helping others, everyone loves helping others. Caregiving, poetry, caregiving, a little more niche. Human rights, cool. Civil liberties, cool. Eating healthy, okay. That doesn't really have anything to do with these two. Human evolution, okay. I don't know. Greenhouse gas, like, you're kind of all over the place. Right? All over the place. If someone looks at your example, they're going to be like, yo, this dude doesn't know what he wants to do. And then look at you, and they're going to be like, this girl is too generic. It's too broad. Right? But watch what happens. So how many people have a list of more than 3 things? Of 3 or more? Good. And how much of of your list does it make sense? Is it like connected? Or is it like, some of it's connected, some of it's not connected? Cool. And if you have a question throughout, you can ask. Just give me 1 second. So here's the fun thing, okay? And this is the part that I always love the most about the presentation. What most people say are 2 things. They either say, I have too many passions, Brian. You don't understand. I have too many passions, so they never start anything. And then some people say, like, I don't know what passion is. So, right now is the part of the presentation where we all get to have sex. It's the best. I always love it. There's always one person that you're just like, wait, what? This guy just got super creepy, you know? I was so excited. I get really excited. I speak a lot in Latin America. Do we have any Latinos in the audience?
Yeah.
So I speak a lot in Latin America, and I always say, like, en este momento vamos a tener sexo. And I'm like, oh, papi, you know? It's like, it's so funny. Like, I give this talk, and like when I'm like talking to like a really super white group, everyone's like, we're gonna have sex? Like that shit's illegal, you know? And like, I say it in Latin American, I was like, yeah, palante! You know,
Since this is a professional group, I can't say that, but I thought about it.
Yeah. That's awesome. So we're about to have sex, right? What are you looking at me? Behave yourself out there.
Okay.
So look, we're about to have idea sex. There it is. You know, he's been here. So, idea sex, we've done this before. So, idea sex is like this, right? I had a friend that called me a few years ago. She was in California. Colombian woman, she called me, she was, Brian, I can't do it anymore. I said, can't do what anymore? She was a friend of mine. She said, I hate my job. I'm unhappy, I'm depressed, I don't want to work here anymore, but I don't know how to make money doing what I love. And I said, Lorena, we're about to have sex. She said, dude, I just called you for advice. Chill out, you know? And I said, no, what idea sex? Passionate sex. Tell me what you're into. And she said, here's what I'm into. I'm into the beach, Brian. And I'm like, everyone's into the beach, you know? Beach. She said, I'm into yoga and healthy living and healthy foods, health and wellness, right? So what else are you into? She said, I'm into going to seminars and retreats and conferences. Retreats. What else are you into, Lorraine? She says, I'm into spending time with my daughter. I'm a single mother. I'm into spending time with her daughter. Okay? And I said, okay, cool. So, I'm into my daughter, I'm into retreats, I'm into learning and teaching about health and wellness, and I'm into the beach. I said, Lorraine, here's the idea. Ready? Here's the business. You start. Oh, and then she says to me, but the problem is, a lot of these conferences don't allow children, and if they do allow children, the tickets are so expensive, I can't afford to bring my daughter. And I said, you should start a retreat, 3-day retreat on the beach, where you teach health and wellness to single mothers and their children. Boom. Sex. That baby turned into a business for her. That's what she does now. And she makes good money doing it. Cool, right?
Yeah.
There's no reason that we all can't do that. So let's play with these 2 examples right now. Right? And here's the thing that you have to remember. We're not going to come up with, like, this idea I came up with her, a year later she made money. Right? So take the pressure off yourself that, like, you need to start making money on this thing in the next 7 days or you're a failure. These things take time. Right? And the advantage of doing it now while you're studying, now while we're, like, everybody in here is young enough to do these things, is you can start on it now, and then all of a sudden, a year from now, 2 years from now, I get emails from a talk that I did 5 years ago that said, yo, I finally popped off. That thing that I've been working on, because of the idea, sex idea that gave me, is finally making money now, 4.5 years later. Right? So be patient with yourselves. All right? So how does this look? What's your name again? Julian. Let's play with Julian's. Human rights, civil liberties, eating healthy, human evolution, greenhouse gases. If we put all of those things together, right? Let me hear how you guys would start something if you were Julian.
Customer service.
Customer service. Tell me more about that.
It can be an office like helping people about what they need or research for program that they need.
Okay. But let's focus on, like, here's what he loves. Here's what Julian loves. He loves these 5 things. Our goal is to create a business, or at least create the first step of a business for Julian. That's the goal today. That's what we're trying to do. Tell me your name.
Excuse me?
Tell me your name.
Vanessa.
Vanessa.
An environmental consulting company?
So that's, now we're getting there. And so let's flesh that out even more. And here, hang on for a second, because that's right. Here's what I want you guys to all think about. These things, in and of themselves, the reason I asked you what you would do with $1 million, which then got to $100 million, then got to $1 billion, is because I want to know where your heart's at. And here's what 80% of you said: you want to help others. Here's the problem with helping others: people don't know how to monetize that. And you can't help others if you have no money. Right? You can, but you can't help others to the degree that you would want to. If your first answer was that with $1 million you would help other people, that means that you want to help other people to a pretty big degree. Right? And so what I want to do is I want to figure out ways to help you love the life that you have while you make the money that you have. And if helping others is something that you care about, which we're going to get to in a second, then let's make that a part of the business. So many people are separating the two. It's either I'm going to help other people or I'm going to make a lot of money. My thing is, like, you can do both. So let's help people while you make money, or help people while you do your thing, right? So that's the goal. And the problem is, people stay too general. I want to help people. I want to do human rights. What does that mean? I don't know. Right? But if we start to really flesh out the 5 things he cares about, and then we start to put it into something that's an actual business, right? Which is what you just said. Now things get more interesting because then you can taste it. It's close enough to taste, right? Keep going. Tell us more about this idea. What would you have them do?
So I can't see much from here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can't read. My writing's
It
horrible.
says greenhouses?
Greenhouse gases, human evolution, eating healthy, civil liberties, human rights.
I do know that human evolution comes with eating healthy. Like, you could link that together. So your company could present the best way to produce food in a way that it helps you stay longer and teach others.
So let's back up. Let's back
I
up.
don't know,
Tell me what the first thing you told me you should do is what?
an environmental.
An environmental consultancy firm. All right. So now here's what I want to add value to everyone at the same time. So what I want you to think about right now is with your passions. If you could start one business, doesn't matter if it's a small business, if it's a big business, if it's an idea, if it's you as a freelancer, if you could do one thing tomorrow that someone would pay you $1 for, what would it be? An environmental consultancy let's just call him an environmental consultant for now, right? Because he's just getting started. So his one thing, Julian's one thing is environmental consultant. If that's your thing, right? If that's your thing, if that's his thing, then all of a sudden things get fun because now we start thinking about a couple different things. Number one, who is going to buy from him, right? And then number two, how does he start to get his name out there? So, who is Julian selling to? And
He will be like, for like human rights, I can make a connection with human rights with civil liberties. And what is the other one? House. I will try to get like in contact with NGOs right away.
okay, so maybe he provides services to an NGO. But what service does he provide? What's the first service that he provides?
Environmental protection.
Okay, so how would that look in an ideal world for you? If I said to you, I run an NGO, I'm going to hire you to be my environmental consultant. What are the 3 things that you are going to help me with? You are going to help me. Okay. Yeah, so you're gonna start to educate people about healthy food. What else are you gonna do? Yes. So provide cost-effective strategies for people to purchase healthy food. And number 3. Okay, good. So we have education about healthy food. We have information, and we have distribution. And let's just stay with Anthony's NGO head as your client. Okay? So
Can I put a little bit more clarification on that?
yeah, go for it.
So like we gotta make sure like with the human rights that's a good thing that he's passionate about. Like we have to make sure that there's no violations being violated too.
Right.
Because that's the biggest
It's his
concern.
own thing.
And that's it's a big concern.
For sure. So let's systematically break this down a little bit so everybody can be here. And welcome to our newcomers. Thank you. Couple different things. Number 1, we have now identified his in one line what he offers. He offers environmental consultancy. It's pretty cool, right? And literally, you can start to sell that tomorrow. You can start to say, I'm selling to Hostos and I'm also an environmental consultant. Okay, what does that mean? Well, what I do is right? So, step 1, everybody should write down their one-line thing. If I offered a service or a product or an idea tomorrow, it would be this. And if that's confusing, we can do questions after this. But let me walk you through the next round. I would call myself a what? Environmental consultant in Julian's case. Environmental consultant. Make sense? What would you call yourself, or what service would you offer? Question. Next, to have a business, you have to make what? Money. To have a business, you have to make money. What I'm really nervous about right now in our culture is that, and I've seen this, I talk about it all the time, and I've seen it time and time and time again. Instagram allows for a lot of fake entrepreneurship. Because anyone in their profile can write that they're a founder, or a CEO, or an entrepreneur. And I have friends that have literally painted this picture that they are traveling to the Caribbean once or twice a month. They're buying expensive drinks, driving expensive cars. They are the CEO of media companies. They are the founder of this. They are an entrepreneur. And I'll sit down with them and I'll be like, so bro, your business is really going well. He's like, dude, I'm broke. And I'm like, well then why are you doing that on Instagram? He's like, because you gotta fake it till you make it, man. I'm like, no you don't. You're actually confusing everyone around you and they're getting depressed because they think your life is so good and it's not. It's dangerous what you're doing. It's not with integrity and it's sad and it's pathetic. But bro, like where else am I gonna advertise myself? I'm like, I don't know bro, build an actual business and then you can think about where you're gonna advertise yourself. Happens all the time. People are confused about what it means to actually be an entrepreneur. It means that you make money from your idea. It doesn't mean you have a full-time job and you write down your Instagram profile entrepreneur because you sold 2 hats this month and now you have a fashion company. You don't have a fashion company, bro. You sold 2 hats. Right? Don't lie to people, man. It's a bad idea. So, my whole point with little mini brands is, unless you have people that are buying your service, you don't have a business. Right? So now we have to identify who are your potential buyers. Who would buy from you? It would be the directors of NGOs. It would be who else? Who else could be your client? The government could be your client. You could target executives at companies. You could target individuals. You could target college students. There's a lot of different ways you can go about it. The point that I'm trying to make to you guys is this. Any idea that you have to think about who would buy this product. Right? Who buys our products? Companies. Marketing officers of companies. Marketing executives and companies. Because they say, Brian, you have so many good ideas for how we can market and create content. I need you to come in. I need you to bring your team. I need you to create videos. I need you to create social media strategy. I need you to create ad campaigns. I need you to create special projects. And we'll pay you $10,000 a month, or $20,000 a month, or $5,000 a month. And then you get 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 of them, and you're making $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. Now you have a business. And you don't have to make $1 million a year. Maybe you can live here and be comfortable living in a studio apartment with 2 or 3 of your friends making $32,000 a year. But you love what you do. You are an entrepreneur. You're not an entrepreneur if you're not making money. And you are pretending like you're making money. Or you're renting a fancy Mercedes-Benz. Or you're going to the Caribbean once a year and that trip is literally all of your savings. And you're putting up like, yo, can I wait for next week? I'll be back. You won't be back. You won't be back till 2022, bitch. And you're lying to all your friends. Hate that. As you can tell, I hate that. What I don't hate is if you get 1 client. What I don't hate is if you make $1,000 this year on your idea, then you are doing something. It doesn't have to be $1 million. So, who is going to buy what you sell? Give me ideas of it. So let's pause for a second. We'll get back to Julian in a second. I want to hear what your title is, and I want to hear who's going to buy your stuff. Title. Francisco, go. I'm going to call people if you don't raise your hand. I'm not playing around. I'm like really fired up now. I see a lot of good ideas in this group, I can tell you. Designer. Engineer. Same thing or different? Designer or engineer? Okay, a designer or engineer. Who's your clients? What do you offer? What product? broad, go narrow. I'm not picking on you, I'm glad we're doing this. I know we're just doing an exercise right now, but like, if you were selling me something right now, I'd be like, I don't understand. Next, you gotta go fast, right? So get to a point where it's like really obvious. Like, here's my thing, ready? You're spending too much on your marketing. I can get you 5 times more revenue with 1/2 of your marketing spend if you hire my company. Can we talk? Yeah, we can talk. Right? Your company is actually harming the environment and it's harming your employees, and your employees' health is actually worse, which means they're calling out more for sick days, which means they're less productive at work. If you let me be your consultant environmentally, internally in your company, your employees would be 2 times more productive, 3 times healthier, and you would make 10 times more money. Can we talk? Yeah, we can talk. Right? I have something that's going to be easier for you to implement. You understand? Hit them in the face with a value right away. How does it help me? Let me tell you guys something. All people care most, except for like Jason. Everyone in the world basically cares about themselves more than anyone else. Jason cares about you guys more than he cares about anyone else. But most people want to know, how can you help me? Right? So give it to me, Anthony. Anthony, your hand was in the air. You ready?
If you need help tools, you can hire this guy right here.
If you need what? Anthony, what's up? All right, go ahead.
I have hand woodwork.
Hand woodwork. So I am a, what is your title? What is your title?
My title is the owner of the company.
Yeah. Like, instead of, what is you're an environmental consultant, you are a, you got it. Just hand woodwork specialist.
Okay.
Or I'm a creator of hand woodwork items, or I founded a hand woodwork company.
Okay.
Okay? Cool. Keep going. You're,
I would sell to people that work with real estate, landlords, and new homeowners.
good. How do you find them? That's the next step. Here are my clients that I think, here's how I'm gonna find them. Right? I'm literally walking you guys through like a business, a hardcore business boot camp right now. They don't teach you guys this stuff in school. They don't.
They don't.
They're like, start a business. Good luck, bro. You can do it. I believe in you. But it's like, what does it mean? It means I have to have a product. It means my handcrafted wood things have to actually be good. Right? Because if they're not good, you can lie yourself into. If I can, he can say, I'm gonna help you do these things. If I hire you, if you don't do these things, I'm not gonna hire you again. So you have to have a great product you believe in, which I'm sure you all will. Then you have to think about, I think my customer is this. Then you have to find out where they live. How do I get to them? So walk me through it. So you're going to sell what? Just give me an example of one thing you can build tomorrow you can sell.
I would sell cabinets and
Perfect.
doors. And
So you will sell cabinets and drawers.
doors.
Cabinets and doors. That's what you sell. Perfect. What makes your product different than every other cabinet and door that exists?
It's not made out of a regular company. It's actual wood material made by a human with machines.
Good. Where does the human live? Just make it.
Okay.
It's good. You'll see why I'm asking this in a second.
The human lives in the Bronx, and the company's in the Bronx.
Perfect. Local. Love local. Watch why this matters. Who's going to be your customer?
Mostly Bronx people.
Good. Well, how are you going to get to them?
I'm going to go to real estate conferences and places where I know there's people that need this.
Keep going. You're on the right track.
Talk to landlords, starting with my own personal landlord.
Great. So you're like in the hustle mode. I love that. Now, that's great. Let's stay with this example for a second because I like it. 3 potential buyers: landlords, real estate companies, and then you're missing one that's really going to be important for your business: interior designers. Right? So you need to be friends with every interior designer in the world, and you go, yo, my cabinets are the best. And I'll give you a 10% piece of everything that you sell if you sell only my stuff. Okay? Now watch this. It gets even better. Yes, seal that paper. Right. Ready? It gets even better. Now, what do we do next? We have a great idea, we have some clients, we have some ideas, we'll do in a second. What do we do next? We create, before we even create more products, creating more product, we do it at the same time. But now is when the fun part comes. You get to build a brand. The future of personal brand is the first part of this talk, right? And we're kind of like going all over backwards, but I'm like liking this flow. The future of personal branding. Here's probably the most, what I just said to you about making money is the most important thing I'm going to say to you today. Without money, you don't have a business. Don't get it twisted. Don't let other people get in your ear about it. You will be upset if a day comes in your life and you have no more money in your bank account and you haven't even thought about making money. It will be very crushing. Everyone's like, oh, what failure? Like failure. I call it failure porn. Everyone's like, oh, what failure? You gotta fail. You gotta fail to be successful. I'm like, have you failed? Have you ever failed? Because let me tell you what it felt like when I failed. It sucked. It really, really sucks to fail. It hurts. Your ego, you fail in front of your family, in front of your friends. And let me tell you something. No matter how much your family and friends love you, they're not like, it's okay, baby, don't worry. I don't need to eat this one. They're like, yo, you better figure this out. I love you, but like, you better figure it out. Right? It's not fun to fail. Everyone's like, oh, well, you're only successful if you fail. I'm like, okay. I don't want to fail. I'm not scared of failing, but I don't want to fail. So, I'm trying to set you guys up in a position where you don't have to fail. Meaning, know this from the get. You gotta have a great product, you gotta have people buy it, you gotta start making money. Now, once you have that thing in place, now it's time to start thinking about the brand. Simultaneously while you're building this thing out. And the brand part is the most fun. Let me tell you the biggest thing about the future of personal branding. Alright? The biggest thing about the future of personal branding is you have to be honest about your process. And you have to put out as much content as you can. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Everybody thinks that the light has to be perfect, that the camera has to be $5,000, that the way that I speak in front, I can't pause, I can't say, what if English isn't my first language? None of it should hold you back from starting. Because there are 8 billion people on this planet, the market is huge. And you will attract the right people if you do it with integrity and you do it constantly. Trust me, I'm seeing this all the time. Now, what does that mean? Let's stick with your wood, for example. Most people that would sell a cabinet would do what? They would just start what? Selling cabinets. Buy my cabinet, buy my cabinet. Have you seen my cabinet? It's the best cabinet in the world. It's the best, buy my cabinet, buy my cabinet, buy my cabinet. How many times do I need to hear from you to buy your cabinet before I no longer listen to you? Not that many. That's what this is what I call push marketing. You've seen it in Facebook, you've seen it in Instagram, you've seen it on the internet, which is buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing. And I'm like, dude, I don't even know who you are. Right? You're selling me constantly. I don't even know who you are, and you haven't done anything for me. So watch this. Now, what's really important is we have to think about how we can create a brand that adds immense levels of value to the community at large. How do we do it if I'm selling a cabinet? Give me an example. Give me ideas. Let's hear ideas. Offer what? Like what? Extra screws. Okay, so like an add-on to the sale. Yes.
Durability of the cabinet.
What is it?
Like ensure that the cabinet is going to last long enough.
So like durability. Yes.
Installation.
Installation. Okay, installation. So these are like add-on services required. Yes.
For usually turn down the cabinets.
What is it? Okay, so like it's a social, there's a social good aspect to it, cool.
You can say that like, whatever like you pay towards the purchase of the cabin, you can say some of this will go towards charity.
So similar idea, social good, it's just she's planting up a tree, you're giving money to charity. Discount?
No.
Discount? So you got, so here's just one more, yep. Samples? Good, so let's, good. So look, here's what's cool about this, and this is like where I'm really thinking that I'm about to like really like, whoa, blow your minds. Which is this. Every single answer that I just heard is related to the cabinet. Right? So this is where I said at the beginning, like, let's think even bigger. What I would love to figure out is how do we make you a personal brand that everybody loves and can't get enough of, and then of course they're going to buy their cabinets from you, but it's not about the cabinet. So let me give you an example. If I were you and I lived in the South Bronx and I was selling appliances in the South Bronx, what I would do is I would turn myself into what I call a media company. So I'm selling cabinets, or I'm a consultant, / I'm a media company. And what does that mean? That means that I become the place that people come